My name is Ron Frey, and I'm the CEO of a wonderful company called Autoland. Autoland is a new car buying service. So we work with credit unions and support any members of credit unions, helping them through the process of purchasing a vehicle. We'll deliver over 12,000 vehicles, and yet we don't advertise, we don't negotiate, and I have no inventory. And we do that across 3 states and 80 locations with new cars, used cars, products, trade-ins, etc. The founder of Autoland and I made a great connection. We worked with each other for a couple of years in a consulting role and using some of the technology, which ultimately led to the acquisition of my company back in 1998. What I tried to do in the organization was to create systems and processes and controls and efficiencies that standardize the business, that whoever you dealt with, wherever you worked, you would have similar experiences and people are all delivering on a consistent promise. We went from being only where you could work with people inside a credit union to centralizing into a call center, to allowing people to do transactions online via phone or face-to-face. We've introduced large used car centers. Our used car operation works much like a centralized supply and distribution channel. So we have a couple used car operations that display their used vehicles amongst all of our credit union clientele, and people are only viewing them online and through the consultants, and then we ship the vehicles with a no questions asked return policy and extraordinary warranties that our guarantee is the car has to exceed your expectations or you don't own the vehicle, and we do that without deposits, and we give you a 5-day return policy on the vehicles, and I will have shipped that car 1,000 miles to you. Our business is really about being the best, not the biggest. When we're the best, expansion becomes easy. When I was in kindergarten, that we were asked to draw a picture of ourselves, how we saw ourselves. And I drew myself with a 3-piece suit and a briefcase in kindergarten. I've been an entrepreneur all my life. I've run companies that I started up and basically have run and operated businesses from as early as I can remember. So if you can imagine, here I'm, barely 20 years old, and the phone rings and this person says, "Yeah, I'm up at my credit union and told that, Ron, the hot dog guy, can help me buy a car." The concept of this digital imaging was just coming out, and we took that idea and started imaging our vehicles and put them on a centralized database, created a network where we could put vehicles available to people that they could see on a computer inside the credit union location. And it caught on. So this was before people really even had PCs in their home. So it was a way that the credit union could really differentiate themselves. It was a way that they could show added value, that they were progressive. And we hooked onto that and looked for other ways as the internet then started coming into play, of other ways that we could provide information and then tools that were very interactive that allowed the credit union to differentiate and bring value add to their members. When you get into a larger company that has the kind of scope and breadth that this organization has, the skills change, and it goes from being entrepreneurial to being more of a professional manager. How do you manage a business not by instinct and gut feel, which is the real driver of an entrepreneur, and really managing the business by developing people, investing in people, and putting controls and processes and systems in place that allows it to really run on its own. So then you can be strategic looking out. My job as a CEO is to set strategy, really set the direction of where is the company ultimately going, and how are we going to get there. So it's sharing that vision, external to customers, our credit unions. It's sharing that vision of where we're going internal to our team, telling the story, motivating people, and putting a plan in place of how we get there, a plan and the right people. I find that how I handle problems is how I really build my business. And this is a business about loyalty and about people that are spreading positive, word. And so whenever I have a problem, I just make sure that it is not a problem and I solve it, and I do it in a way that exceeds people's expectations. And when you do that, those challenges become your customers for life. If you want to be a good leader, you need to put the needs of the people that you're leading in front of your own. You better be willing, to put it on the line on the battlefield. And most people want to cover their own hiney first, and it's all about their career path and not investing in others. I'd much rather invest in the success of the people that count on me, and those people ultimately make sure that I can be successful too. I can't be successful if they're not. And to me, that's just leading. And that's the fun part of being an executive, to have a vision, share it, get people excited about what they do, and win the hearts of people. And if you can win the hearts of people and get people to want to follow you, then there's no end to what you can do in terms of being successful.